Hey folks, Ralph with Stray Benzes here. In today's episode, we're going to fix an AC issue. All of a sudden on this car, the AC start popping number 5 fuse, and the whole AC system, AC blower, compressor, nothing works. The other thing that doesn't work are the backup lights and the kickdown solenoid. So it's not pretty. Plus, as you can tell, I'm sweating, and it's not from hard work. It's pretty hot, so AC would be nice to have. And well, first things first, I double checked the fuse, replaced it, and after driving around, the moment I hit about 3000 RPM, poof, the fuse blew again. That's very strange. So I looked at the usual culprits, the climate relay, nothing looked out of place, but I'll get to that in a moment. Here is the number 5 fuse. Pop the new one in, so that one is all good. The climate control relay, meaning the compressor relay, is sitting here. That I popped out, didn't look suspicious, didn't smell or anything of burnt electrical components. The over voltage protection relay, both fuses in it were okay. All the other fuses looked okay. So this was not the issue. Then I looked down, and then I could see that with the air conditioning in max, that clutch should have engaged, and it didn't. Then I closed the contact between, I kind of like jumpered this, which normally makes sure that my minimum pressure in the system is there. I faked it and bypassed it, and that didn't engage the clutch. Then just to be sure, I put down a AC pressure gauge. My system is charged, so that's not the problem. So why would the clutch not engage? Well, then I always try to go to the source, trying to figure out, where does the clutch work, or does the compressor work? And I turned the shaft by hand. Not quite sure that you can see that here, but the compressor shaft turns freely by hand. And then I said to myself, well, why don't I double check that the clutch engages? And I wanted to give this thing some power, and I'm pulling out the plug, and wouldn't you know it, this thing rubbed against the housing and finally shorted and completely busted. So we're going to repair this wire, and then we'll see if the compressor clutch comes back on. Here I'm going to repair the wire. And then I cut back a little more because that wire didn't really look so hot anymore anyway. A little bit up, a little bit down. There we go. This is solder that automatically also has a little bit of flux in it. All right, I let that cool. And here I have heat shrink tubing. Then I'm going to go ahead and put on there once this has cooled down, and then I shrink that in place. And now I'm going to fix the wire down here closer to the harness. I'll be right back. Here is the heat shrink tubing. Heating that up, turning it a little bit, making sure this is nice and tight around it, because last thing we need is water in there. Of course, this works better with a little less wind. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Just a little bit more on this side. And I cut it back by a good couple of inches because that wire must have rubbed quite badly over the years. So here we go. And then we'll rinse and repeat that for the side closer to the engine. All right. Now, you can barely even see where I spliced the wire down in here. And guess what? The clutch is finally engaged. And we're back in business. Hallelujah. Well, I'm glad we got that fixed. It was a darn bloody stupid wire break. And with melting weather for fat people coming up right here in Pennsylvania, I am glad that this works again. All right. Goes to show, not everything is complicated on the AC system. Sometimes it's something really simple. Don't overthink it. Happy ranching. Give the channel a like. Recommend it to others who might benefit from those small little tips. Until next time. Bye.